Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Welcome to Brendan's Rants with Dez, aka Dez Rant. Happy Tuesday through Monday, evening, night, morning, and afternoon. The fact is, these are not the topics that I want to talk about, but you have to if you're doing this kind of platform. Just be honest, 100%. The murder that took place on August 22nd in Sharpsville, South Carolina, on the train should have been avoided. There's no reason why this woman lost her life. I'm going to start with that. I got a lot to say on this one. I am not happy. The fact is, we're still, we're under Trump's administration, yes, for a while now. And ICE is doing a good job of taking people down. In fact, I'm not sure. This guy was also a refugee as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to look that up, because you know what? I just thought about it as I was talking right here. I'm like, God dang it! You think about all this stuff because right here I just have notes. Tomorrow night's live. I'll have more information. Fudging A. It's like son of a nutcracker. I thought I actually had everything figured out until I started talking. And because if I'm not mistaken, this guy also is not from the States as well. Okay. I'll look it up a little bit later. Because I want to get to this point first. First and foremost to the family. My sympathies. That had been horrific for her to be in a train basically by herself, going through those moments before she passed. I can only imagine. Like, there's no way in hell anybody could actually imagine unless that's actually you that happened to. But let's get on with it. First and foremost, suspect. I'm just gonna call him Brown because you know what? I suck at names. You'll find that out tomorrow night when I go live with the people that I have to say names about throughout the school shootings of the transgender people. But that's not till tomorrow night. Like her name, also, I'm going to butcher really bad, but then again, people can't say my last name either for shit, so it is what it is. But this guy was arrested 14 different times. I know a lot of you have heard all this information already. This is not big news. This is not new news. But at the end of the day, this son of a bitch, the judges let him go on an IOU type of thing where he would go to court. Well, I think that judge should automatically lose her job. And as far as I'm concerned, she should be put in prison for a year for her to think about what she did. Any of these judges that did it 14 different times, and these are not small offenses either. You know, at the end of the day, the reason why this is such a big case is because there's new video today of this whole incident. This entire incident was, added after she was stabbed in the throat. And the fact is, at the end of the day, nobody did squat. At least that's what it looks like. One guy was walking towards wherever that guy went, a.k.a. Brown. But she was there, like, in shock before she breathed her last breath. Like, this one breaks my heart. Yeah, her name was Arania. Like I said, I suck at this. I'm glad nobody's watching right now because at the end of the day, I suck at names. Zertusha. I wish I would actually have some kind of thing where I could know actually how to say it. But the fact is, she was coming home from work. She sat down. And maybe this could be a lesson for people when there's a train and there's seats wide open. Do not sit behind another guy or even a girl, I guess, at this point. If there's open seats, go there. Do not sit behind or sit in front of somebody. Like I said, this one really flusters me. This son of a bitch was arrested 14 times. And the fact is, now they're actually talking to possibly, hopefully, a death penalty. I want him off this earth. In the first part of the video, she gets on, she sits in front of him. She's on her phone, looking at stuff, probably Facebook. Or maybe YouTube, maybe she's watching a Des rant. Come on. That's, oh man. You see him thinking, grabs in his pocket, pulls out the knife, stands up, and does the unthinkable. The reason why the judges did not actually do more because he's mentally unstable. What? How the hell is he out then? How the hell is he with the people? How is he not either in prison or in a mental institution? When I heard about this the other day, I was completely dumbfounded by this whole thing. So let's talk about this. After the stabbing took place, after she's basically in a daze, she's looking around like a deer in the headlights. Nobody, at least in the first 14, 15 seconds that we just saw today, anybody was coming to actually her aid. We are now living in that society where nobody will even help somebody out like that. This is terrifying. Have we officially become caveman, where we don't give a shit about the next person? I mean, prime example of this is when you go out hunting, deer hunting. Yes, I'm going to compare people to animals because people always say, well, we're just animals. We're just animals. I would never say it. People tell me. Like when you go deer hunting, when you do a drive, you shoot the big buck, and the other ones run off. Because that's instinct. So all of a sudden, now we're actually at the point where if, in human version, if somebody is stabbed, something like this, we just decide to, it's not my problem, I'm going to actually put my blinder on. I wish there had been more people on that train, because then maybe something would have actually happened. That video really pisses me off to my core. Because it shows the decline that actually is civilization at its finest. Because of the left. But Des, how can you do this? I can, because I can explain. A lot of times when people would actually help, aka take that son of a bitch down and kill him, that person would be thrown under the bus. You can't do that. He's a black guy. Well, that's pretty much what they would say in their head. They would not say that he's a black guy, but they would leave it, they would go after the person that was actually being the hero. And people are just tired now. They don't want to be the next, whatever name that was from the last time. Once again, I wish I would have been on that train. I wish I would have had Lucille my bat. Bash that fucker over the skull. At the end of the day, he took a life. I want that guy to actually get the death penalty. When you know with a shadow of a doubt that the person killed somebody, automatic death penalty. No more of this, oh, he's got problems, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, blah. No. The only way these people are going to respect the law is we bring the law back. This one broke my heart. Seeing nobody come to her aid. Maybe they didn't know how bad it was. Maybe some other people didn't even know that she was stabbed, even though he was going like this. The fact is, at the end of the day, we can do better. Hopefully, we will do better as a society. This thing cannot continue. If it does, it's the end of what we know it as civilization as we know it all together. Hopefully she's enjoying paradise now with her loved ones that she's already lost too. I cannot believe that not one person even went up to her to see how she was, or because there was people that were watching the whole thing. Joe Biden, Democrats. I know Trump's president now, but they let all these laws in where Trump's, I know, taking stuff back. I'm going to look it up because I'm pretty sure that I had seen that this bitch, this little fucknut, was actually also a refugee. I could be wrong. It maybe just have been her. So let me take a few moments here to actually look this up. God dang it. Okay. I'm going to Google it. Because if this does not piss you off, this is one of those cases where everybody should be irate. Doesn't matter if the left, right, in the middle. If you're not pissed off at this one, there is something definitely wrong. I've been picking my words very, very, making sure. As I said though, I want this guy to have the death penalty. He doesn't need to get out anymore. He does not need to actually contemplate it, because you could see in the first part of the video he's all confused and stuff. And it pisses me off to my core. So, see if I actually spelled this right. Okay. I would actually say it in the mic thing, but I don't know how to say it's right, because to be honest, it's a tough one. There we go. Let me almost done here for looking up. There we go. Okay. Okay. Seriously, I was looking this up, and there was like a GoFundMe for this dick. He's worse than a dick. So I'm gonna read this first paragraph right to see what actually. Judges who previously released a man charged for the fatal stabbing of a woman in a light rail in Charlotte, North Carolina, have come under scrutiny after details of his violent criminal, blah blah. Yeah, I already said that. 34 is accused of fatally stabbing 23-year-old. Okay. Friday was prompt and so officials released surveillance footage of the attack on Friday, which prompted an outcry. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. So here we go. Officials released surveillance footage of the attack on Friday, which prompted outcry. Congressman Randy Fine, that's actually his last name is Fine. I would never make it up. I would quite frankly never make it up, but and that's what his last name is. People tell me. Congressman Randy Fine has said he plans to introduce legislation to hold judges accountable if they release violent offenders who go on later reoffend. Oh man, I swear I saw somewhere where it said that he was actually illegal. But that's why you always have to have your iPad or something so you can look it up. So at least they got this right now. This right. Brown is being without bond. A judge has ordered company to evacuate. Well, so they're doing an evaluation over the son of a bitch. Doesn't matter. This 23-year-old Ukrainian is dead now because some fucking judges decided, oh, because he's not stable, we cannot just keep him here. Screw you, judges. You should be going to jail. First losing your job, and then you should be getting at least 1 year in jail. At least 1 year. So you have time to think about the stupidity that you did. This 23-year-old and her family, they're never going to get her back. So congratulations, judges. 14 different accounts, and you will let him out so we can stab and kill this girl right in the throat. I think I'm done on here for tonight. I'm actually kind of glad nobody watched at this point right now because you know what? I'm saving this one. I talked soft at the beginning. I want this SOB, this Brown guy, to get a death penalty. Making sure that he does not do this again. My whole thing is this an eye for an eye at this point. How he killed her. No putting, needle in so he just falls asleep. Somebody goes from behind him and stabs him in the neck. She was innocent. She did nothing wrong to provoke any of this shit. And yet she's 6 feet under. Hopefully we're at that point where you all agree with me at this. This asshole deserves the death penalty. And I believe he deserves the same way. Plus, it would be a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper than lethal injection. If this guy does not get the death penalty, we do not live in a legit society. We saw him do it. He walked away, and what pisses me off the most, nobody did anything. Tomorrow night, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, I will be going live on the transgender shootings. There's 9 different shootings since 2018. For such a small percentage of people that actually have a 42% suicide rate. Two nights in a row where it's not as much fun, but the fact is you got to do it. Stupid little bug. See, damn thing around here. But once again, I love you guys, and I do appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace out, and like always, happy holidays.